It's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So we had two things happen overnight here at Ask an Aquarius. The first thing that happened is, as one of our subscribers who wants to remain nameless donated me another crown. So that's how I got a new crown. It was a donation, and when we're finished, I will put the link to where we got it from on Amazon. So in case anybody wants one for their birthday or for whatever the case is, you can have one too. I thought it was so cool. I love how the sharp crystals are on the top. I just thought that was just so decent. Okay, so thank you so much for all the donations, every single one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened is that there was an article written. It's called The Dark Side of the Aquarius Zodiac Sign, According to Astrology. It was written by a woman named Emily Rattay, I think it is. And I never saw this. Apparently, this article came out in 2018. She wrote this article and she linked myself, some of my videos, two of my videos, and some other people's videos talking about Aquarius things. And I had never seen it before. So somebody on Instagram, one of our subbies here on Instagram, shout out to you for sending it to me. Thank you. Sent it to me. So I opened it up and I see me. And I'm like, oh shit, that's me. So I read the article and basically she's talking about the dark side of Aquarius and the things that she thinks are negative about Aquarius, which is weird because she is Aquarius. So some of the things in it sound like things that people would write who don't understand Aquarius. So it makes me wonder, is she self-aware? Because when I read this one to you, it's like, huh? So anyway, one of the things I saw that I was like, huh, is number one. This is the one I want to talk about today. This is got to be hands down the biggest lie told on Aquarius. And that's why I was surprised to see it here, because she said that she's Aquarius and I'm like, you should know better than this. You should be able to see past this yourself because they're talking about you. But I don't know. She said in number one that Aquarians can be robotic and unemotional. Now, if you're an Aquarius, you know we're not robotic and unemotional. What we really are is we have a difficult time dealing with expressing our emotions on the negative, and on the positive, we are in control of our emotions. Think about the symbol for Aquarius. One of them is those ziggly lines, two of them. But the other one, the one that I'm talking about here, the Aquarius is either a male or a female, sometimes a mermaid, with a big jug. That jug is our emotion. That's our water. We come with the water. It's not that we don't have emotion, like we don't, water is emotion. So it's not that we don't have any, it's that it's compartmentalized. We are in perfect control of it. Those of us that have self-discipline and self-control, we're in control of our emotion. The only problem comes in is when it's time to express them. That's when things get tricky, and I'm gonna talk about that last. But the first part I want to say is that it's an absolute lie that Aquarius are robotic and unemotional. Okay? First and foremost, Aquarius are passionate. So we can be extreme, and that's emotion in itself, number one. Number two, when I talked about how we compartmentalize the emotion, we control the water. We control the emotion. So it's not like we don't feel it. It's not like it doesn't come about. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting here crying over the Notebook, Sometimes I sit here and I read letters from our subscribers, or I look at videos they send me or messages they send me, and I absolutely do cry because they send me things that are just so sad. Some people out there are living very misunderstood lives, very difficult lives. Some of you guys out there are going through a lot, and believe me, it's many a day I sit here and read notes and just cry and pray for the person, because there's really nothing else I can do. So if I was robotic and unemotional, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would read the letter and be like, too bad, and move on, If I was robotic and unemotional, I wouldn't cry at the Notebook. I wouldn't cry when Gangsta's Paradise plays. That song always makes me cry. I wouldn't cry at songs and cinema and tales and things like that. I wouldn't cry when people said things to me. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be able to empathize with people enough to even care about asking your questions on Ask an Aquarius. I mean, seriously, think about this. The thing about it is that Aquarius, like I said before, are in control of these emotions. So somebody else may choose to view it that way. If they're hysterical and we don't get hysterical with them, they may choose to view it that we're unemotional. One of the most important lessons I learned from a Capricorn. This is Capricorn man, used to be my supervisor. I could not stand this old man. But he taught me one of the most important lessons about emotion that I've ever had. One day, we were at work and a young lady was having a crisis, and she was like, it was a big deal. She was really upset. She was basically, I'll give you a little bit of background. She was a prostitute, and she was a young girl. She was like 15 or 16 years old, and her pimp was like a grown man, and she was trying to escape him. And she had called our shelter to get transportation. She was on the phone. She was crying. She was screaming. I was talking to her, and when I got off the phone, I was very upset. And he looked at me and said, "She's in crisis, not you." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "She's in crisis, not you. Do not take on her emotion. You're fine. You just had lunch and you were laughing and joking. You're fine." And I thought about it and I was like, he's right. This cruel bastard is right. Sit here and take on her emotion and spiral out of control, or I can get in control of my emotions. And that's one of the things that really got me interested in and understanding the concept of self-discipline. So I understand that people can sometimes see that as unemotional, but it's not. It's being in control of myself like an adult is supposed to be. Now, let me tell you a little story. This story happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. Now, you guys, I have a friend, and I care very much for my friend. My friend has been going through a lot of really bad stuff, a lot of mental health kind of stuff, and I've mentioned it before, and she's going through a lot. So yesterday, she texted me on my phone, and she was upset and blew up at me about some bullshit, quite frankly. And I was sitting there and I was pissed. I was pissed. I mean, like, all the stuff that I put up with and had to deal with, I mean, all of it just came to the surface, and I wanted to choke the life out of her. And all that emotion came up, and I caught it. I caught it in midair, like, stop. And I sat there on the edge of the bed and I was like, what is the truth? I always ask myself, what is the truth? The truth is she's going through a lot. The truth is she's getting on my nerves. The truth is I've been dealing with this for quite some time. The truth is snapping at her is not going to help. The truth is I care about this person and don't want to do irreparable damage to the friendship. The truth is I don't have to do anything right now but discontinue this conversation. So I had the emotion, I was holding it, and I thought to myself, what do I say? How do I respond to her snapping on me in this text message? And I said to myself, just say, okay. So I typed, okay. Didn't say nothing else. Didn't respond to the snap. Didn't say anything else. I just said, okay. Because that was all that I had to do, was respond to what was her question. And I just said, okay. Now, to the other person, that may have seemed robotic, unemotional, but it wasn't. I actually had a great deal of emotion, but I didn't let it go because it was unproductive. So I said okay to her. And I called another friend and told this friend what happened and vented and released all that emotion and typed my way through it. And that was it. That was all I did. I dealt with the emotion. The next day, which is today, I woke up and did a meta meditation, which I'll also leave a copy of that underneath this video. And that meditation helped me get in tune with compassion towards her, more compassion towards her. And everything was okay again. So I went through a day and a half of emotion behind this. And somebody on the outside looking in could be like, oh, wow, she didn't even respond, okay. But they wouldn't have realized that it took me a day and a half to work through those emotions. So I just wanted to tell you guys, especially those of you who are Aquarius, don't take that rap. That is not true of us. And for those of you who aren't Aquarius and you think your Aquarius is robotic and unemotional, they're not. They just have a hard time expressing their emotions. And a lot of times they're just compartmentalizing them and controlling them because, like I said earlier, it's not always productive. It wouldn't have been productive for me to snap on her. That's not going to help her mental health and her situation. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help our friendship. But discontinuing the conversation to a time when we can talk from a place of logic and diplomacy, that will help. So, likewise, I want to talk lastly about what Aquarius can do. Aquarius, when I talked about expressing your feelings, what I suggest to you is to get in tune with them first, understand them, and then you have to find positive and productive ways to express them, especially if you have to talk to another person. Like in this case, I'm going to wait until the calm has come back and a conversation is possible. You notice I wrote things out. I did a meditation. I did things in productive ways to deal with the emotions. I didn't ignore the emotions. I didn't capture them and then just let them stay there. I dealt with them immediately. So venting, talking, writing, journaling, those are all great ways for us to express the emotion. So the gentleman that asked me earlier, is it hard for Aquarius to express our emotion? It definitely is. But all you got to do is learn some techniques. All the things I did in this situation and I've done in other situations are techniques that I've taught myself over the years. I've taught myself how to detach from the emotion and realize what is really going on here before responding. I taught myself self-control. And then I taught myself how to use those tools to express my emotions and not leave them bottled up somewhere. Okay? So underneath here, I'm going to drop the meditation that I was talking about. I'm going to drop you the article that I was talking about. And I'm going to drop you the link to this cool new crown. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And pass it on to somebody else who got it twisted, who don't understand. I understand that most people are going to keep saying that about Aquarius. Most people are never going to understand what I'm talking about because most people don't have this ability. So most of them are going to look at this and be like, huh? And they're not really going to get it. But those of us who are Aquarius, this really is for you. I want you to benefit from what I'm saying. Okay? I want other people to see it too, but if they don't understand, that's all right. I'm used to people misunderstanding Aquarius from other sun signs. And it's okay. We all have things that we got to deal with. Such is life. So again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on. If you would like to send me a donation, I'll leave my PayPal. If you would like to get a tarot or an oracle card reading, I will also leave my email so you can email me for an appointment. If you would like to hit me up on social media, I'll leave my Facebook and my Instagram. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.